Greetings everybody, Serpentine451 here, and welcome back to another episode of Weeb Warriors, where instead of an otaku soapbox discussion, I'm going to do a tier list. Well, it's not gonna, there's no images on screen here, I just have to find them and talk about them in rating order, eventually, of the EDs and OPs of this season. Because at least a couple of the shows have finished today, and a few of the others are going to be finishing next week. And I just wanted to give my thoughts initially of the music behind these shows, and then the shows themselves for next week. Okay, so let's actually get down to business here for the reviews. I'm going to start with the Funimation shows that we've had, which, let's start with Talentless Nana, episode 12. That being The Invisible Blade Part 3. In this episode, we find out that Michiru ended up getting sick for just trying to use her regenerative powers on a cat that was attacked after Nana took care of her and had this existential crisis over it. The reason why I mentioned the cat thing is because someone's actually murdering animals on the island that are killed similarly to our current murder victim and current murder investigation, which leads to a lot of suspects that could potentially be the murderer. Hey, Jin even came across the murderer themselves, even though they were obscured by some form of darkness, as you do. And then you have some funny scenes between Kyoya and Nana, and we are also introduced to the organization that hired Nana to get rid of the talented. Overall, still solid episode. Solid series too. Jordan doesn't want to watch it because it messes with him, and it's understandable there. But let's go to the next show from Funimation. Moriarty the Patriot, Episode 11, The Two Detectives, Act 2. With this episode, we actually get into the murder investigation of this train mystery. And it is a match of wits between Moriarty and Holmes. But we also have the gag of Watson getting arrested, well, held in custody until the time allotted for Holmes and Moriarty to pretty much individually solve the case to see who would win. Which turns out Holmes deducted everything correctly, but the murderer wouldn't have been held accountable until Moriarty did something underhandedly to pretty much win that bout. This show has been a fun ride, and I cannot wait to see what else is in store, because Mycroft was just introduced, and I'm excited to see it. Sorry. Had a cough for a moment there. But let's now actually get to the other shows. Well, let's go with Noblesse. With this episode, I think it's episode 11. I believe it is. Oh, anyway. With this particular episode, we have just heading over to Lucadonia. We also get more information on the female lord's backstory. Oh, it's episode 12. Okay. Oh, wow. Everything is episode 12 here. Okay. Except for a few shows, I guess. But so, we'll get into all this shit, right? Some of the fight scenes that happen in the three bros. The RK4, because Regis is a member of this group now, where they protect Razio. And with Razio and Frankenstein and the boys heading over to Lucadonia to Razio's mansion to face off against the Lord, We also had Sarah pretty much get interrogated to face death, and also Gragio, also facing death as well. Everything's gonna be intense. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to it. Next up, let's go with Tonikawa, episode 12, where it's basically another bit of wholesome interjection between Tsukasa and our boy Nasa. And with him, he gets sick after overtaxing himself too hard, and she takes care of him, helps him recuperate. And then eventually, after all those shenanigans, they go to a summer festival, and they had a lot of fun. It's a great, wholesome show, and I enjoyed it. Just fantastic show. And I'll talk more about that next week when the rest of the shows finish up. Now let's go to Danmachi Season 3, Episode 12, where a big fight between Belle and Astros happened after Hermes tried to implement a plan to put Belle in the good graces of the citizenry and the other adventurers, but only to be thwarted by Freya in the end by having her crew send Esteros to fight Belle, which Belle only lost that bout and really wanted to win. But ultimately, Esteros and Belle fought on good terms, but Belle's reputation, and the Hestia Familia's reputation was saved after that event. Now let's finally get to Jujutsu Kaisen episode 12, where holy shit, Junpei becomes a dead monster thing. I thought he was gonna last it out, but nope, unfortunately that wasn't the case. And fucking Yuji got so pissed, he beat the shit out of Mojito with the help of Nanami. And it's gonna be a fun fucking fight. I'm excited. This show is so fucking wild, and I love the fucking creepy aesthetics. And I'll talk more about this with the boys if they actually want to join me for that. Hopefully they would have enough time to do so. But hey, it is what it is. So let's actually get to this tier list, shall we? It's now starting at the bottom of the tier list here. I know, folks, it's going to be a very hard thing to say, but the bottom of the list here is Jujutsu Kaisen's opening. I know it's a banger for everybody else. It's just not my scene, man. It is definitely not my scene. I mean, I get it. The OP sounds great. And the imagery in the OP is wonderful. But I don't know, man. Kikai Kaitan? I mean, it's fine and dandy. And even though it's going to be a second core that's going to be coming out sometime soon. I'll be running for 24 episodes. November 20th. But the second car will happen eventually. Next week's episode is going to be yeah, just Kakai Katan. Not my scene, man. Definitely not my scene. And I think the next one is next on the bottom tier is definitely Tony Como's OP. Not the biggest fan of it. You can also, yeah, I would just leave it there. Then the ED for Talentless Nana would be up next after that. Just both of these, just these bottom tier songs aren't something that that doesn't appeal to me personally. But if you find it fine and dandy, more power to you, fam. It's just, yeah, these are just, like I was trying to tell you before, these are just my opinions. Now, let's go to the next ED that I'm not the biggest fan of, is Moriarty the Patriots ED. Just, Alpha's not my thing, man. I mean, it's fine and dandy for what it is. It's just not my scene. And now it's more to the more positive side of the list here. Well, I gotta say also with, but before I get into more of this good stuff here, a little bit here. Tonikawa's ED is definitely better than its OP in my honest opinion. But it's still like in the middle for me. I will listen to it a little bit. And above that is the ED to Noblesse, which is Etoile. It sounds fucking beautiful and it's great, but would I listen to it all the time? No. That also leaves the Talentless Nana ED. It's about the same as Etoile, actually. So those two are a tie. And then getting to the OP of Talentless Nana, if I haven't mentioned already, it is a fucking banger and I love it. It is a good track. I love that track. Then above that is the OP to Danmachi Season 3. And, in turn, the ED for Danmachi Season 3, if I haven't mentioned it already. Both of those are great. And they really set the tone for this particular season. Danmachi always has had great OPs and EDs, in my honest opinion. Now let's get to my favorite ED of this season. God, I love this particular ED. That is Lost in Paradise, which is the ED for Jujutsu Kaisen. I fucking love this ED so much. It is so fucking fun. The music pops. The visuals for the ED, which I don't really count for like the song in general, those fucking pop in a nice artsy design that I really damn enjoy. And it's got that funky rhythm. It's something that you can dance to, and I love it so much. And then after, like, even, like, runner-up is fucking Moriarty of the Patriots OP. I love this OP so much. It is a fun ride. And I've yet to listen to the full song. And I cannot wait to actually do that, just to get that satisfaction. It sounds so gothic, so atmospheric, and it just really pops in your mind every time. I listen to it every time I watch an episode of Moriarty of the Patriot. It gets me hyped for the mysteries and whatnot of this series. But by far, my favorite OP for this season, bar none, is Noblesse's opening, Breaking Dawn. I love this song so much. And it's fucking beautiful. I sing it every time I listen to it. It's so fun. It's just the way it's very uplifting at times, but then it just drops and it hits so hard that you just really cannot stop listening to it. But yeah, like I said, these are just my opinions. And if you guys want to have your own opinions, drop your favorite EDs and OPs for this particular season down in the comments section. And do the usual YouTube things. I can't tell you what to do. And for those of you who also follow me in other projects, you can or you came from those particular projects, you can come to Jay's Twitch, which I co-host with him. Yeah, Mr. Jay's Chaldea. And with that, I'll end this episode here. So, until next week, guys, I will see you then. Laters.